Premium account on X, Twitter. I have that. Please upgrade to a premium subscription on X, Twitter. I have that. I have that. No, I don't. Okay, that's fine. All right, we'll fix that. We'll just cancel or remove Twitter. Remove Twitter. Save changes. We are live anyway. We are live.
All right.
This is Tearing Down High Places. Welcome to our live stream. Usually we're a pre-recorded show, and it's just Average Joe and Seth Brickley from Minnetonka.
Yeah, great to be here with you, Joe.
If you don't know where Minnetonka is, it's a little bit east of Minnesota in Wisconsin.
Yes. Yeah, and I think it's fitting, Joe, that you live right next to Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Not far from Philadelphia, and you guys, you, Jeff, and Tim,
you've been on the road, baby.
Yeah, they've been trying to get people in Philly to vote for Trump, and and what they're saying is that Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, Trump needs one of those. You know, right. as long as he holds Georgia and North Carolina. He needs Wisconsin, he needs Michigan, or he needs Pennsylvania. So yeah, we both live in. I know you live in New Jersey, but you're right across the border, and so these are two big swing states that where we can make an impact and make a difference here.
They're big swing states. So tomorrow night during the VP debate, what are we gonna do, Seth?
Yeah, we're gonna do some commentary live during the debate, and it's kind of fun to hear people talk about the debate. And and I know some people like Charlie Kirk does that, and some others. And so if you want to listen to us, we'd love to have you listen to us, and we can give our commentary. And I think our commentary will be different than a lot of these, because ours is going to be coming from a biblical perspective.
Yeah.
Where a lot of these, not so much. It's just more from kind of a general quasi-conservative perspective, where ours is going to be, we'll even say, we know that Tim Walz is going to be way off. I mean, unless he has a conversion overnight. Yeah, but JD Vance, we expect him to be more biblical, but we'll even critique him if he's off.
We got to be ready to critique him, because we don't support any individuals. Yeah. We're not saying Trump is always on par, man. He's got some bad policies. He's just got fewer bad policies than the other guy. And he's got a lot of good policies. Actually, I mean, I hate saying that.
Yeah.
I mean, in our last podcast, we talked about, not being Republican or Democrat, but we're kingdom kids. We're for the kingdom of Christ.
Yes.
And so we're going to vote whichever way is going to be more biblical, like you said.
Yes.
And in the way that's going to love our neighbors better. And then certainly Kamala communism is the way to go. Yeah,
and personally, I feel the weight of this because I just saw an interview recently that John Harris did with Trevor Loudon, and Trevor Loudon is an expert on communism. He was actually featured in Enemies Within the Church, if anybody's seen that, and he traces. In this interview, he actually wrote a book. It's a 700-page book that was just released on Amazon, where he traces the communistic past of Kamala Harris from childhood. She's been trained in communism, and of course, she's not going to come right out and say that, but a lot of the things she's saying, a lot of the sayings that she's saying are consistent with communism. So there's a lot on the line in this election. Literally, our country is in the balance. And we as Christians have a great responsibility to really announce what's going on, to be honest, to tell the truth. Yeah. So Joe, you have an agenda to share here?
Yeah. So this right now, if you're logged in, you're probably you may be watching us from Facebook. You may be watching us from YouTube. Tomorrow night, we'll also have our Twitter stream available. So if you're familiar with any of those, obviously you got here one of those ways. So just log on like you normally do. We're going to start at 8:00. You'll be able to log into the chat, and we'll have instructions for you if you're If your name's not showing up properly, we're going to have instructions for how to do that. So folks can log in at 8 and just chat with each other. Also, at 8:30, Seth and I and Pastor Jeff and Pastor Tim and Elder Ivan, we're all going to start chatting about what we expect to see.
Yeah, wonderful.
What we're going to be looking out for, right?
Yep. Yeah, and if you're in the Midwest, the times are Central Time, of course, and that would be 7:30 when we go live, and 7:00 if you want to join the chat. But yeah, the debate starts 8 Central, 9:00 Eastern Time.
Yeah, well, the debate starts. Yeah, that's when the debate starts. So, yeah, and when the debate starts, we're going to have to not show the video, but we can watch it and we can comment, if we don't like what's going on or we want to applaud it, we can just comment and people can turn us down. We're talking too much. And then they come back at 10:30 when the debate's over, and we'll do a post-debate analysis from a Christian perspective.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, so we'll, as it says here, the first half an hour we'll just kind of preview it, say what we expect. We'll do maybe a little bit of talking over them, but we also want to listen to them as they debate, and then also during the breaks we'll make comments as well. And those commercial breaks can get kind of long, so we should have some time there. And then like Joe said, yeah, they got. Yeah, they do don't they do a commercial break? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think
that's a good question
all the time. I don't think they do it for the presidential. Maybe they will do it for the VIPs.
Oh yeah. Well, if they don't, then we won't be able to. But we'll for sure get an opportunity afterwards to make our points. But do you know what channel? Who's doing the debate, by the way? I was wondering that. ABC did the last debacle. We know that.
So I think it's Fox, and I think it's but I know CBS is also broadcasting it. It may be all of them. I'm not sure.
Okay, so if it's Fox, it should be.
But if people tune in to Tearing Down High Places, we'll tell them where to go.
Yes, that's correct.
We will have that info tomorrow for sure.
Yep, that's correct.
And you guys get to go to bed at a decent time there, Seth. You get to go to bed.
Yeah, it's gonna be a late night for you guys.
Yeah. Not as late as election night, but you know what? I guess election night isn't late anymore with all the paper ballots, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. The way things are, and of course, the way it was 4 years ago, we didn't know till days after. And if they start saying things like, "We're not going to know the night of," we know something's up at that time. But
Trump says if he gets elected, he's going to get rid of this paper ballot nonsense. Let's hope we can win. Let's hope we can win. I hate it. Actually,
they're going to have to fix. He's going to have to fix just about everything if he gets in there. He's going to have a lot of work ahead of him.
Well, hopefully he can fix some things with a Republican Congress that will be able to put things in place. It's not that easy to get things out. I mean, Obamacare's still in there, and they tried many times to get rid of Obamacare. They chunked away at it, chipped away.
Sure.
But those executive orders, man, blow them away like a leaf, Yep.
And we're going to do a future episode too before the election. Just encouraging pastors, and this is my heart right here, my plea. Encouraging pastors to instruct their congregations how to vote and how to vote, because I'm concerned that not enough of that's going to happen, because an America without understanding what's going on, understanding the magnitude of what's going on, is going to be a very dark America in the future. So anybody listening to this, you can look ahead. Sometime here in October, we're going to have an episode where we go through that. That sound good, Joe?
Sounds good to me, man. All right, so yeah. Give a couple closing thoughts. I don't want this to be too long. More if it's 10 minutes, people might watch a little bit. Do you have any? Yeah, what do you got? What do you think? What are you expecting tomorrow night, Seth? Come on, tell us.
Yeah, what's my prediction right now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you my prediction right now, and I'll say it again tomorrow if you show up early tomorrow.
There you go.
But my prediction is I believe that I think Tim Walz, he's actually very good at speaking without actually saying anything.
Mm,
He's a gifted politician in the most negative sense of an understanding of what a politician is.
mm.
But I don't think he's a good debater. He's even said he's not a great debater. But I think Vance is a far more intelligent man. And he's a much more virtuous man. I don't know. He is a Catholic. I don't know if he's born again, but he is at least he at least has a moral compass where Tim Walz does not. Tim Walz pretty much goes wherever the wind blows. He was when he was a congressman in southern Minnesota, my home state. He was a Second Amendment guy. He was more conservative, and that's how he won the election there and won several times as a congressman. Then when he started running for governor, he all of a sudden moved away from the center and further to the left. And look where he is now. I mean, he's pretty much as radical as Kamala Harris. So when we watch Tim Walz tomorrow, what people need to understand is that he doesn't have any convictions. He doesn't have any sense of morality. He's just in it for power and for himself. I mean, I'm just being really frank here. That's
Yeah.
just that's just the fact of the matter based on off of what we've seen from him. Now,
So,
yeah, JD Vance, on the other hand, I think is a decent man.
mm,
And I think he is more intelligent too. So I hope that shows in the debate and where he can just destroy Tim Walz's false arguments.
yeah, well, hopefully he has a Christian worldview that shines through. I haven't seen enough of him to say that it has for sure. I did watch his movie about his childhood and growing up, and that
Oh
was
yeah,
really interesting.
yeah,
So yeah, I'd love to see more about him and find out who he is.
yeah.
And I'd be really interested. I'm going to be on the lookout for, can JD call out um, the Democratic policies that they're
Hmm.
not speaking about, right?
Yeah,
I've noticed Kamala is just, man, running to the right as if she's, more conservative than Ronald Reagan. You know,
yeah,
she's got commercials on television saying that Trump wants to raise taxes in 15 categories. I'm
yep.
like, well, I didn't hear about that. Did you hear about that? Did you hear about these 15 categories where he wants to raise taxes? I haven't heard him say anything about that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can't believe anything that they say. I mean, I think that's what it comes down to. And here's
Mhm,
something interesting too. But when we think about the abortion issue, from a reliable source, I was at an event. It was actually a political event. It was a Moms for Liberty event a few days back,
mhm,
and I was talking to a guy there, and he said that pro-life people are very upset at Donald Trump based off of reproductive rights, comments like that.
mhm,
They got in his ear and they
mhm.
called him out. And I don't know if you've noticed this, but all of a sudden he's more conservative on that issue again. And he's during the last debate, Donald Trump said, "My view is the same view as Ronald Reagan, which is rape and incest exceptions." So
Mhm.
again, much more conservative than what he has been saying. Yeah, so I found that very interesting. So it'll be interesting to see tomorrow if JD Vance, says my view is the Reagan view, or if he goes soft like Trump was going. So that'll be interesting to find out tomorrow.
Yeah, so Pastor Jeff will be on here tomorrow night talking. He had a recent sermon where he was preaching about lying and saying that you're never allowed to lie as a Christian, even if you've got Jews trapped in your basement and you live in 1935 Nazi Germany,
Yeah,
and which a lot of us would say, well, come on, I can lie then, but what 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 I do like about Trump is that his intuitions are usually right. It's when he gets too much like a politician, and in what you
yeah,
just mentioned, where he's quoting Ronald Reagan. Now he's
hmm,
being a politician. But his original answer, I remember back in 2016 when he was
yep,
asked about abortion, they
yep,
asked him, they said, "Well, do you believe when a woman has an abortion that she should be held accountable?" And he said, "But of course, you know, and
yeah,
of course you should, right?"
Yeah, that's a very conservative, very biblical position.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, it's logical, right?
yeah,
If an action takes place, the person that took the action should be held accountable for said action,
yeah,
right? So he's got good
yeah,
instincts usually, and I think we sometimes we're appalled that he shares his instincts,
yeah,
so liberally,
yeah,
pun intended, and then but then sometimes not so much, right? So that but he gets
yeah,
political, so
yeah.
I
If
think
yeah,
that's a good instinct.
if someone were to ask me, okay, let's say I'm on that debate stage with Tim Walz, and they think they're going to get me on my radical pro life views, I would say, you know what, my view agrees with the Bible and science. Okay,
Yeah,
I am pro science. From conception, this
yeah,
baby is a person. Okay, so my view, and my view fits reality. Okay, let's talk about their view. Let's talk about what truly is radical here.
right,
That a child, a baby could be aborted not only late in the pregnancy, but also once the baby comes out of the womb.
right,
A botched abortion, where you could just let the baby die.
right.
Almost all of the House Democrats voted for that in 2023.
Mm,
So that is the view of the Democratic Party. I mean, that's
it
that's a
is.
fact. That's a fact. They voted on it. Anybody can look it up. Uh, yeah, so they can't run from that. So yeah, if you're Vance, you that's how you answer the question. You
It's
don't.
gonna be exciting. Get
Yeah.
here early tomorrow. We're gonna have Seth on. We're gonna have
Yep.
Pastor Jeff. We're gonna have Pastor Tim, and for the
Yes.
first time, we're gonna have Elder Ivan Solero
Yeah.
in
Wonderful.
the mix. You're gonna love meeting
Yeah.
Ivan, Seth.
Yeah. I
This
haven't
will
met
be
Ivan. Yeah, I've heard
he's
about him though. Looking forward to meeting Ivan. And yeah, and I'll just say one more time. Yeah, if we'd love to have you. This will be a different commentary than you get anywhere else. That would be my selling point to anybody listening right now. Tell your friends, and
yeah.
we'd love to have you with us tomorrow evening.
And we're gonna share this video on some socials, so you can share this video with some people and invite them out.
Yeah,
So
wonderful.
until tomorrow, if you
Yes,
see a brother down, lift him up. See a high place, tear it down.
tear it down.
Come on, Seth.
Yep.